Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soccer Showdown. Joe Archino and Martino Puccio, and we are not in the TV studio today, but there is so much happening. We had to, of course, come in and break everything down. But I think, obviously, Martino, match of the weekend is pretty easy this week. We have a massive match in the Premier League, Chelsea against Manchester City. And just to give you a little bit of information heading into this match, Manchester City, I think anyone who follows the sport understands how incredibly of a dominant run they have been. In their last 6 matches across all competitions, Manchester City has scored 24 goals and only conceded 1 goal. Chelsea, on the other hand, they have won 3 straight across all competitions. But I think, obviously, Martino, all the talk heading into this match is about Manchester City. They're in first place. Man United is behind them with the same amount of points and record, but Man City leads the Premier League on goal differential right now. How have they been so dominant? I mean, last season we saw them score a lot of goals as well, but certainly defensively, I don't think we saw what we're seeing right now.
No, I think it's really important that Kyle Walker got off to a good start because, I mean, he was the most expensive buy for a defender in history. I'm pretty sure that still stood because I feel like they break that record every week. But no, that was the big problem. I mean, goalkeeper and defense, they've been spending so much in that area for years because, I mean, they've been spending a ton of money regardless. But those were the main positions that they were looking to bolster in order to get over the hump. And finally, it's paying off. It's Pep's second year here. I mean, they just got the blow to Mendy now, who's out for a few months because he tore his ACL. Man City just announced that on their Twitter page. So, I mean, that's a big blow to them. But at the same time, they've always had really good depth. And I think they're kind of – it's not that they're rejuvenated. It always seems like City comes around after a bad season because they never had a consistent winner where they were like, hey, we're going to be able to win the title 2 years in a row. It was kind of like, oh, we won the title. We're kind of on a high. And then they come in a little bit flat the next year, and then they kind of like take it off, and then they win again. And I think it's really time for them they always take some time to figure it out. And it took Pep some time to figure out a new league. That always happens because, I mean, let's be honest here. The Premier League itself is always considered to be the toughest league in the world, depending on who you ask. So even a great manager like him is going to take time for him to adjust. And the players are playing consistent, and I think they're finally living up to the billing. So yeah, I mean, like it. And this is just the start. It's not like they're going to play a good few game stretch. I think they're going to get better like this. The more comfortable they're all going to get playing with each other, the defense, all the way up to the attack with Aguero. So I think they're in a really good spot right now, and they just won. They did very well in the Champions League this week. So they're riding high going into the weekend.
I don't think there's any question about it, and it's one of those things where there's so many different places, so many different players on City right now where you could give them so much credit for, but I think we've seen recently Pep Guardiola kind of come out and say that he wants a extension to be done with Kevin De Bruyne. And I mean, let's be honest, for a player like him, he's been worth every penny they have spent on him.
Oh, yeah.
Just what he has brought from an offensive standpoint and just from getting other people involved. The way when David Silva is healthy and so is Kevin De Bruyne, the two of them complement each other so well. But let's go over to Chelsea on the other hand. Obviously, Chelsea, defending champions, they had a little hiccup where they had a draw against Arsenal, but they've won 3 in a row. They have made a comeback in the Champions League the other day. So this is a big match. They are home, obviously, at Stamford Bridge, which you give them a little bit of a leg up on, but you could not get Man City at a hotter time right now. What do you think Antonio Conte can do to kind of I don't even know if you can limit Man City right now, but what can he do to put Chelsea in a position to walk away with something here?
I think he and his teams have this sort of mentality that they're able to grind out results. And I think that's why they were able to win the league last year. I think they were just winning games that they needed to win, and that was usually a problem with Chelsea in the past. I mean, it's a problem with a lot of top clubs that invest in stuff. I mean, we even saw it with Manchester United last year. They weren't grinding out those results, but now they are, and look where they are in the standings. But I think the main thing is that Morata's really coming on as of late. I think it was a great buy just because of his talent, but the fact that we talked on how he was a great fit for Conte's system because he used to play for him back at Juve. So the fact that he was able to settle in easier, not just in a new league, but with a new team as well, and it's really gelling at a right time. And no joke here, they beat Atletico. Atletico's been one of the best teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably ever to not win the Champions League in recent years, or maybe even of all time, because they're really a really good team. Always difficult. Diego Simeone's team.
He works them as hard as anybody.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between him and Conte. So I think the fact that they also sold Diego Costa now officially, that's off their back. That's something that was a gorilla in the locker room that they just didn't need. And then the fact that he's gone now, I think it's a good time that they're gelling. But Man City, I think they're just a lot more talented than Chelsea at this point.
Before we make our picks, I want to go back to one point you said because I think it's really important. When we look at who's won the Premier League the past few seasons, you've kind of said it's because Chelsea beat who they're supposed to beat. And that's not something that a lot of people do. But that's
Arsenal.
what I think separates. Well, Arsenal is the biggest elephant in the room.
Because they'll get a draw like they just did against Chelsea, and you're like, where was this? But they're giving up a ton of goals to Leicester in opening night. It's
let's look at Leicester for a minute. The season Leicester won the title, overcame the greatest odds in sports history to win the title. No, it's 5,000 to 1 odds. Yeah. That will never happen again. Yeah. Never.
Over the whole course of the season.
Leicester? There's many reasons Leicester City won that title that season, but the biggest of all, during that season, their losses came against Arsenal, which again, even though Arsenal is still a little up and down, when you're Leicester, those are things you can expect.
You can afford to drop points against.
They took care of business against everyone else in the league, and that's why they emerged as champions. Yeah. Manchester City that season, they had these hiccups where they just lose matches they had no business losing. Man United, you name the top clubs in the league, it happened to them that season. And Leicester City was as consistent as they could be in that front. And that's what separates people from being the champions or not being the champions. So we'll see if Man City can continue to play like that, because that's what it really comes down to in this league. But now it's prediction time. I had to get that off my chest because I thought it was a great point.
Fine.
I'm going with Man City here. I just think right now, I don't think, obviously, they're going to score 6 goals on them like they did against Liverpool.
No.
5 goals like they did against Liverpool. But I do think that it's going to be a nail-biter because we just know that Conte, the way he has it, he can make his team play defensively. He's going to make Man City work for things. But I think it's probably going to be like a 2-1, something like that, where City's going to have to find a late goal. But I just think right now with the momentum that Manchester City has, I don't know who in the world would pick against them right now.
Yeah, I'm going with City too, but I'm not going to be shocked if Chelsea finds a way to grind out a draw here.
Yes.
I think that's just the kind of mentality that they have, and it's at home. So Chelsea's at home. So my feeling is sometimes I have mixed feelings with Stamford Bridge because it should be more of a difficult place than it is to play in. I feel like there's been times where Chelsea managers have been kind of critical of the home crowd. I'm drawing a blank on the manager's name. Who's I think it was Mourinho probably. It sounds like him.
It sounds
to say
like
something like
he
that.
would say.
He would say, but sometimes there's just this kind of mentality that the fans they don't get that into it. This is a game they're gonna get into.
Yeah,
City's playing better than anyone in the league. Chelsea's the defending champions. Sometimes they feel disrespected like that. But I think I'm going to go City here 2-1. Me personally, I just don't trust David Luiz and that Chelsea defense. I don't think it's as good as last year. And I really do think City's offense is really going to be a problem for them. The attack with De Bruyne so what? You don't even have to start Jesus. He could just come off the bench. That's probably the most deadly. That's probably the most deadly guy coming off the bench in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So, I'm going to go with City here 2-1, but I wouldn't be shocked if Chelsea got another result.
Me too, because it doesn't matter what sport it is. Whenever it sounds too easy, it always is. And whenever you're a team like this, when you're on a run, all things like this lose steam eventually. So it's just a matter of when will City have that little drop off. And this is a game where it very well could happen, but I do think we're in agreement that we have City here, but Chelsea certainly has a lot of options and a lot of different variables they can throw at Pep Guardiola. But we will just have to see how this match plays out. But regardless of what you think, I think we can all agree it's going to be a very competitive, very interesting match to watch. But that is it for this segment of Soccer Showdown. Joe Archino and Martino Puccio here. We will be back in the studio next week if all things work out. Let's hope they do. And until then, we will see everybody in the next episode.